Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. Americans not happy with President Obama's take on terrorism, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Another rather painful exposition at the White House yesterday. Reporters asking spokesman Eric Schultz about negotiating with terrorists.
The Taliban is still conducting terrorist attacks, so you can't really say that the war has ended as far as they're concerned.
Well, I'd also point out that the Taliban is an armed insurgency. ISIL is a terrorist group, so we don't make concessions to terrorist groups. We feel
the Taliban is a terrorist group?
I don't think that the Taliban is an armed insurgency. This was the winding down of the war in Afghanistan, and that's why this arrangement was dealt.
The arrangement Mr. Schultz is referring to is the trade of 5 top Taliban commanders for Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, whom we'll deal with in a moment. But what about Schultz parsing the terrorist description? Embarrassing, right? White House really needs to stop this nonsense because it's become a national joke. Taliban slaughtered 132 Pakistani school children recently, and it's an armed insurgency? Come on, that's just insulting. So I am going to send a chart to the White House by FedEx. The following are terrorists because they either kill or support killing civilians: Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, Taliban, Iranian mullahs, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Muslim Brotherhood, and every other jihadist group. It's going on the chart. I'll write them down, send it down to the White House so they know. Now, there are also terror groups not aligned with radical Islam, but they're insignificant at this point, thank God. A new Fox News poll shows Americans are getting fed up with the dumb dance the White House is doing. When asked if America is at war with radical Islam, 56% say yes, 37% no. When asked if President Obama over or underemphasizes the terror threat, 47% under, 43% about right, 6% over. Actually, that poll is closer than I thought it would be. Must be weighted toward San Francisco people. The truth is that the Muslim world, most of it, would like to see the jihadis defeated. They're bad for business, bad for the soul. But America is not going to put the jihadis out of business because the commander-in-chief lacks the will. And the folks, we the people, have had enough. Why should we bear the brunt of the entire war on terror? If Muslim nations would declare war on the jihad, we and other allies would certainly help them big time. But that does not seem to be a possibility in a very cowardly world. And so the beheadings, the kidnappings, the bombings, the mutilations will all continue unabated until the USA gets hit again. Then everything will change. And that's a memo. Now for the top story tonight, Pentagon striking back in the Bo Bergdahl case. The Factor, using military analyst Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, has reported heavy pressure on General Mark Milley to go easy on Sergeant Bergdahl, who, as mentioned, was traded for the top Taliban commanders. Army denies that and also denies that General Milley has come to any conclusion about Bergdahl. But how can that be possible? Joining us in Washington, Colonel Ralph Peters, Fox News strategic analyst. So they interviewed, the Army interviewed Bergdahl in August. 2,000-page report was wrapped up in October. This is the second report on Bergdahl. And now it's February coming, and they still don't know. Does that make sense to you as a military man?
No, but everything I'm hearing is that the White House has been exerting tremendous pressure on the Army and the Pentagon to whitewash the Bergdahl case, let Sergeant Bergdahl walk. Hey, by the way, something that really ticks me off about this, the phony promotion of Sergeant. Bill, I wore a Buck Sergeant stripes on my collar before I went to the dark side and became an officer. He's no sergeant unless you get stripes for serving the Taliban. But at any rate, back to the key point. Look, the White House doesn't think beyond the next PR op for the president, saving face. And so for the White House, they don't get it. I mean, desertion. Why is desertion? That can't be such a big deal. It's like skipping class, right? But for the Army, for our military, it's much bigger than this pathetic guy, loser Bergdahl. It's about the precedent. If you cook the books, if you interfere with the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is a very fair and painstaking system, if the White House manages to let this guy walk away, you have basically said desertion's just fine, because every future case the defense Any deserter would be able to basically do the Bergdahl defense. Like,
Okay.
It wasn't desertion for him. Why is it for me? So it's
Now-
about good order and discipline in the future for our military. It matters.
Okay, but let's get out of the theoretical and into the practical. The Army itself, all right, and Pentagon itself, putting people out, and they are saying that General Milley has not been contacted by anyone at the White House or anybody else, because if he was directly contacted, the case would be thrown out immediately. How do we respond to that?
Well, we responded, the pressure doesn't have to be on and wouldn't be directly on General Milley. The White House isn't going to call him directly, but it goes through, it's a wave. And by the way, the military people are very loyal, and it's hard for them to resist the White House. But clearly, I mean, the only possible explanation, and the only one I'm hearing, is that the military is trying to get this right. Now, remember, Bill, they've got to dot all the I's, cross all the T's. Sometimes the military system can be frustratingly slow. But as near as I can tell, and from everything I hear, the Army is trying to get it right. The White House is poisoning.
Well, they don't want a
the
trial.
justice
The White
system.
House doesn't want a trial. As we reported last
Yeah, of
night.
course, that's my point.
The White House seems to want a lesser desertion charge slapped on Bergdahl, so they wouldn't have to go to trial. He'd plead guilty. Time served at the Taliban captive would be it, and he leaves.
They'd
So
like
they don't-
an AWOL charge or less.
Right,
They'd love him to walk. But something that
But
really
wait,
strikes
I
me.
need you to react to this now.
Okay.
You heard Kirby. I mean, you heard him. I mean, look, it's not just Fox News reporting this; it's NBC reporting it as well. All right, so here's Kirby, right? And he goes out and he basically calls us liars. Colonel Schaefer's a liar. Everybody's a liar. Nothing has been decided. Milley is still deliberating. Which look, this isn't that complicated. It's not that complicated.
No, it is. But Kirby's in a tough spot. He's dancing on burning pins and needles.
But they're going on the offense. See? So now if it comes back that it is a desertion, he looks like an idiot. And how much longer are they going to draw this out? I mean, how much longer is it going to take?
Well, I don't know, but I'll tell you this. Today I attended the retirement ceremony of a close friend of mine, Brigadier General Peter Svok. I saw the Old Guard, the 3rd Infantry Division, do their thing, that magnificent performance. And Bill, I was sitting there thinking about this case and everything else. Maybe I'm a Pollyanna, but I believe that the U.S. Army will do its best to do the right thing. And President Obama should remember that another demagogue named Senator Joseph McCarthy was brought down by a Department of the Army lawyer. Have you no shame, Mr. President? Have you no sense of decency?
I don't know if we can convict President Obama now. The indications are, from Colonel Schaefer, yourself, other people, that the White House is pressuring the investigation. Army denies it. All right? We'll get to the bottom of it.
They're parsing his word. Kirby's not Army, by the way, but the Army is parsing his words.
They're parsing, absolutely, but Kirby's around. I mean, he's going, he's making the rounds. They're making a big deal out of this. But
Look,
we'll find out the truth. As we said yesterday.
This guy's, they're caught between the White House and Fox News. And let me tell you, I know the Army. Their heart's with Fox News.
Well, maybe some. But we want to find out the truth. We will find out the truth.
We will.
Colonel, thanks very much. Ahead